Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Farm. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. I got a nice little tribute to my son's birthday coming up every year. I try to do a little something for my birthday. Last year I told him I did a show for him. He said, okay, where you at? What's your link? So no, he don't he don't follow me. He ain't the right thing to follow. But that's my dude. But every year I gotta give him his props, so to speak. So this is another year. My right thing is this is a real life lesson. You might want to check this one out. This is real stuff. All right, let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's always a message in my stories for life. I give you real life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers with life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not, they're simple, so you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself and to my yacht be true. All right, right thinkers, peaceful philosophy on creating another you, but a better you. We call them sons. I call mine Fathead. Let's talk about it. Let me tell you about my best friend. Remember that TV show called Courtship of Eddie Father with Bill Bixby, the Hulk came over, but him and his son. The relationship, that father-son relationship, dynamic. I had my own with my dad. It wasn't all wholesome and lovey-dovey, but my relationship was how to learn how to shoot dice, how to hustle. So I got my life lessons. When I became a father, I was a single parent. Situation broke out to where we got, his mother was a situation relationship. We got burnt out, lost everything. I let her take the money, whatever they had to do, and do her thing. The children had the decision. I had a son and a daughter. The daughter wanted to go with the mother. Naturally, the son wanted to go with me. Me and my dad raised my son. Okay, best decision of my life. Okay, best time of my life. All right, because I got a chance to do something we all want to do. What? Do ourselves over again. Take out the other stuff. I cloned my son with all the good stuff. I gave him all the good me. So I see him now. I just see the good me. I don't see the other side of me. So that's a good thing as a parent. So let me tell you about that right quick. How he got his name, Fathead. When my son was born, I was there. I'm on the end when he coming out. His mother trying to get, no, I want to make sure. When I saw that little dingle brass, yeah, I knew as a boy. I went to dance in the street. I'm in the hallway. I'm wilding out. Why? Because I wanted a son. I prayed for a son. What if it is son? No, it ain't no what if. No. So when I got what I prayed for, I told God that I got it from here. From that point on, I was in my son's life every day. That's parenting. He didn't not have a mother. He went to see his mother whenever she wanted. We didn't have no stipulation. The one thing I respect about his mother, out of all the women, she let me raise my son without that man putting a noose around my neck. Child support. You can't put a number on raising a kid. I advocated for that a long time ago. But yeah, she gave me the benefit of the doubt and let me raise my son. Thank you. I appreciate that. Much respect. Relationship don't mean nothing. I respect that you let me do what I wanted to do. So we'd always have that respect. Moving on. But when my son was born, I was there. And that was the best experience of my life. Hands down. Since my birth. I was there, but when he came out, something changed inside me. I wanted to make sure I was going to tell him he ain't going to be a mess up. Okay, as a parent, your goal is to make sure it don't what tear stuff up, mess stuff up. So that's my job to be a parent. All right, but I wanted my son, and when I got my wish, I nurtured it, I raised it, I took care of it, I prepared it, and I made it like me, in my image. He didn't just look like me, he act like me, he thought like me, and he still think like me. Why? I taught him to think for himself. That's how I think, independently of me. I wanted my son to be what? A good man. So how you do that? You show, and I showed and I taught him what a good man looks like. I was young, but I was a parent, serious about taking care of my son. Any woman at that time, women protective of their kid, they should be. I was like a woman. Don't try to get close to me by using my son. Don't do that. He's not no pawn. I don't play that game. He got a mother. He don't need no mother. So I took care of that concept too. Everybody, oh, he's so nice. Yeah. I ain't trying to be for none of that nonsense. He don't need a mother. You can be his friend. He got friends. He called everybody his friend. But he didn't need a mother image, okay? But I was raised by my dad and my mom. So I didn't have the single parent. I had both parents. I had both sides. I got my cut at my yard. Good and bad. I knew the difference between the two. I just chose bad. My decision, okay, I had to live with that. All right? In life, if you have a choice, then you should be able to make a better decision. But some of us don't have choices. We have to deal with the hand we play and deal with whatever it is. Okay, but when you get situated, you should be able to make a better decision for yourself. That's all. When you're in a situation, I was a product of my environment. Drugs was prevalent. That's what we did. I just got with the movement to survive, and I did my thing. But as a parent, I changed that dynamic. Okay, my son on the record, no drug traffic driving, none of that nonsense. All right. So, but I was raised by my dad to be like him, a hustler. That was that guy right there. That's why we was two peas in the pod. Why? I was doing what he liked for me to do. That wasn't my choice, but hell, I'm following him. Okay? So yeah, he was proud. He's looking at me and just smile. He just love it. And I understand it until what? I had my son, and I started realizing, okay, when my son on that hoop court, when y'all here doing this thing, I'm sitting back and stand like this. So I get the concept, but mine was for a more noble and prosperous position. My son was doing good things, while I was doing bad things. He liked that. Okay, so different dynamic. So I taught my son a different way. I raised him. My old man raised me to be the hustler, but I was it. I did it, but that wasn't me. I couldn't wait to change. In prison was a perfect example. I ain't doing that nonsense no more. You keep that crap. And to the day he died, he was still hustling. Okay? I ain't got a problem with that. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I separate myself from that. I love you, but my man, I ain't entertaining that. Moving on. Fathead, I named my son. And because I spent a lot of time with him, talk and converse with him, and he had his own perception. I was freaking out because obviously he was watching, listening, and observing his surroundings. And he understood a whole lot of stuff in his own way. I love that. Why? It wasn't hard for me to articulate or to get him to understand things. He was already on board. He didn't push back on nothing I gave him. He didn't against nothing I said. Everything I said, he did. Everything I asked him, he did. Ain't asked no questions. But guess what? Now, on Father's Day, I get that card that how you do this? How you pick cards that say that? Just the right stuff to say to me to let me know he got the message. Love that as a parent. Okay. Now, fathead means, again, to know thyself, to be able to articulate and to be your best self. I bring that in him as a young kid. He took that and it just kept going. That's the difference. And again, I gave him that name, not as a nickname, no, but it was symbolical. It's a symbolic name that he learned to live up to and be just like that. What? Big dream, fathead. Don't think small. Think unlimited. He had fat dreams, fat ideas for himself. I ain't tried to distort none of them. I was along for the ride. I was famous for being his dad. Okay, I'm famous for being his son, and I made him famous for being my dad. So now my son made me famous for being his dad. I would just come to the game like, that's my father. So I had reputation coming and going. Was never a big deal for me. Okay, but again, but fat means big, large. Okay, yeah. Head means knowledge. He was big in his knowledge as a kid. He started articulating real early in life about him and how he wanted to do and what he wanted to do with himself. I didn't bat an eye. I let him just go. When he asked, I answered. Best ability. When he asked a question, you got never forget he asked a question about finances and business. My man, that ain't my thing. I don't do that. I get that somewhere else. I ain't got no problem with that. What? I ain't gonna fake him out and give him a bunch of nonsense, but I know what I'm talking about. I wouldn't do that to my son. I wouldn't lie to him. Never did, never will. And that works for us. That dynamic right there keeps us right there. He was always smart intellectually and understanding of what he was doing. I never forget. He did something, and I asked him, what he do, and he explained it to me. I said, okay, now that you know what you did was wrong, you understand that? I'm still gonna be asked. Okay, no. I'm glad you're honest. I'm glad you understand it. So now with this butt whipping, that can compound the lesson. That closes out the lesson. You won't do this again. We have no problem out of that problem. No more either. Again, a well-placed butt whipping goes a long way. Y'all got abuse confused with butt whipping. I would never chastise my kids while I'm angry with them. Nope, don't work. Moving on. Again, I'm far from being a parent. My grandkids, I wouldn't chastise them. Why? They doing good stuff. I had to discipline my grandkids in a while. Well, they must be raised right. Why? Every time I see them, we all good. Doing good in school? Yeah, grades good. Yeah, everything good. Yeah, okay, that's all I want to know. That's all I need to know. Other than that, we can just have fun, all right? But when I see my grandkids, they light up like Christmas trees. That's love, okay? But it starts with what? My son, all right? But he was always big. He knew who he was early in life because I was in his life, to teach him. I was the father figure. I made sure he did the things he needed to do, held him accountable to be his best self. And once he got comfortable with him, I didn't have to push him no more. He was already on autopilot. From that point on, he'd been on his own, okay? I gave my son only my good parts of me, the good stuff. I cloned him in my image with only the good stuff. He got what he got from his grandfather while he was in his misaffinity. And he learned a lot of things about his grandfather, how to be a man's man. Now, I ain't see my son back down for nobody. I watched him on the court. I watched him. He's his own man, and they gotta respect him. I love that. I ain't got to step in and back him. No, I ain't never did none of that. Why? He had his own business. I love that about him. So when I see him, I see what? The best of me, a man. My own man. I handle my business. I do what I need to do, and that's all you need to do to be a good man. Okay. It freaks me out personally. The way he carried himself in public. Every time we hang out with him, I just sit and watch how people deal with him. He get respect. People respect him. We way past the hoop court. Back to hoop court days. Yeah. He just out there now. Everybody respect him. So yeah, he coaches little basketball. And he touching a whole lot more people than I ever did. Okay, I had him and his little crew that he was with. I would pile him up in my car, wherever they were going. I'd take him play AAU basketball. So I've been there all the time. But now I'm seeing him with 3 sons. I got 3 grandsons, and they all got different identities. And I love that. Why? They're all their own person. Obviously, he giving them identity to be who they are. The best thing I ever created in my life was my son's life. I cloned him. I raised him. He was a blank sheet of paper. He's a little naked thing. I seen him. I'm gonna make this my project to make him his best self. As a parent, that was my job to make sure he get the benefit of the doubt to be his best self. No fear. I went one time because the gang activity was so bad in our neighborhood. He only wore a bland color. I'm like, what's up with that? And if I wear some color, they think I'm with them. I wear that color, they think I'm with them. What the hell? I wear red. So naturally, I'm a blood. No, I ain't. I ain't no damn blood, okay? I wear red because that's my favorite color. I wear every color of the rainbow. I'm free to do that. Y'all own colors now? What the kind of nonsense is we done got to? But my son dealt with that, and like I said, he said, I wear bland colors. Stop the nonsense. Common sense make make a lot of sense. So the stuff that he tell me that he do, I'm only gonna argue stuff that don't make sense. We don't argue. Okay, he know just what he doing. I laugh at that. It freaks me out. All right, again, I believe in cloning. Why? Because I got a clone. That's my clone. I look at him and everybody says the same thing. That's your son. Moving on. But now I got grandsons. Okay? And they just the same way. That means he passing down what he got from me to them. I got 2 generations now. They say you judge a tree by the fruit it bears. I got 2 generations of good fruit. Now, I'm bragging. Every now and then I got to throw it out there. But I have been watching this guy grow from his crib. Yeah, I was just watching, just watching. Now I'm seeing a grown man with 3 of his own kids moving and grooving. I'm loving that. Why? He ain't asked me nothing. Papa, can you watch the kids? Can you go into my? He ain't asked none of those things. I ain't responsible for nothing except being Papa and loving them when I see him. Don't hook them up for their birthday coming up this month. But yeah, but I'm just enjoying the ride. Again, it's a hell of a ride. I'd have had a ride with that guy. I had a ride with my son. Now I'm getting to do it again with my grandsons. I'm riding with them. Oh, I'm rolling with them 100%. Where they rolling, I'm going. I don't watch no sports events. Don't care about sports. My grandson, I go to every sport event they participate in. Different thing. Why? I'm watching something that I'm invested in. That's why. All right. But I told him a while ago, you're a better man than me. Matter of fact, on graduation, when he walked across the Fordham University graduation, I met him at the other side. I said, you're a better man than me. He said, never that, Dad. That's respect. That's how I look at that. He won't say it. I tell you, you way better than me, dog. I did a good job by you. I'll stand on that and yeah, I blow my horn. But dude, you got 3 of these things and you doing a lot better than I did. So I can tell you, he can blow his own horn. I'll blow it for him. Okay, every now and then you got to do that. But I'm so proud of who? My creation. The way he lived. How about this? My mom told me she's proud of the man that I turned out to be. Okay, cool. I've always been proud of myself. From the kid, the little boy, to the young man, he ain't never did nothing to make me not be proud. And it's been an ongoing show. I'm loving this ride. Okay, I've been watching his whole life. And he's living it on his terms. I love that. That's what I wanted for him. That's what I wanted for him. A father thinks what? The world of their sons. And as we should, if you put the work in. He knew I was a hustler. He knew I raised, yeah, that was his goal. So he fulfilled his obligation. That was what he had to offer. Okay, I took it. Moving on. I stop that right there. I don't need more hustlers. I need good men. We was good at heart. I know that. But he had his flaws. I had mine. But I corrected mine. And I didn't give it to my son. I didn't pass my iniquities off to my kid. Parents, y'all got a problem living through your kids. But you give them your problem. Okay? I had nothing to do with nothing my son did. Except when he got into St. Benedict's, I signed his application. I signed it. Everything else he did. His mother, why you doing blah, blah, blah? If he needed my help, he know where I'm at. I asked my son, I said, Fathead, when last time you asked me, when last time I gave you some advice? He said, last time I asked. Yeah, he already know the deal. Okay, that's my man. But again, as a father, we think the best of the word of our sons. But if you dare to help him do that, you got reason to. You got reason to. But if these guys who come out the woodwork and their son make it famous, I can't stand them. I can't stand them. I get Shaq. The guy who raised him, that's my diet. The guy who made me, he's just a sperm donor. Okay? And all right, I feel the same way. If that guy, yeah, he's mine. I got that. He wasn't just a donor, he raised me. And no matter how right or wrong it was, he still raised me. Understand? He gave me what he had. But for them guys who ain't there for their child, and then when they make it, you supposed to blow them away. I hope I don't get something with Richard fan. Why? Because all y'all people, I'm going to blow your doors off, so you don't want that from me. Moving on. All right. But again, when you live in your life based on how you want it, that means I did a good job putting him in a position to do just that. He did the legwork. He put the work in. I raised him to be like me. No, just be your own self. Be your best self. Know who you are. That's how I raised him. The rest is on him. And he been doing a good job. So I did my job. I got him there. I got you to the dance. How you dance is on you. And he's the podcaster. He's the teacher. He got his show. I got Right Thinking Philosophy. He got a show called Food for Thought. We're supposed to get together. I haven't had nobody on my show. I'm a single dude. I do my thing solo. The first guest I may have will be my son, probably. Okay, so just want to give you a heads up. If I do anything, it'll be with my son. I got a brother who been working together. We supposed to be doing. I got a blue screen here waiting to put it up. That never happened. It's collecting dust over there. But okay, but yeah, I do what I do for you as a teacher. I don't need nobody to do that. But if I could show my ways and prove my point, I got two children that's successful in life through my tutelage. So I know a little bit about life. That's my point. I give life lessons. I ain't got time to give you a whole bunch of other nonsense. All right. But again, I raised him to be like me, his own self, and be a good man. Marcus Aurelius, the stoic Roman emperor back in the day, said, "Don't argue and debate about what a good man is. Be one." I like that. So my son has always been his own person, his own self. And since the beginning, Fathead, he been having fat dreams and living large in his mind and manifested on his own ever since. I've never seen him fail and flunk whatever his agenda was, whatever he wanted. He went and got it. And he's still doing it. That's, to me, a good man. I had one hell of a ride with my man. When on his deathbed, he said, "We had a hell of a run." Yeah, we did. But I was the driver back then. Okay, I gave him a new lease on life. He had his own run, got a little older. Then he got a son. I got a chance to do it over again, the drug game. He loved that. So, yeah, he got his wish, and I was fine. But that wasn't my thing. I did that when I got time. I ain't doing this no more, my man. I ain't going to retire doing this nonsense. So I had the good run with him. On his deathbed, he acknowledged that. Yeah. So now, where we at? I had a hell of a run with my old man in the hustle game, in the drug game. Me and my dad, partners in crime, had our time. All right. So then my son come along. Fathead, he gave me another hell of a ride during his high school basketball career. Woo-wee! That was fun, okay? Just coming to the gym, just being his dad made me somebody because he was doing his thing on the hoop court, all right? And now that I'm going through another hell of a ride, as what? Pop. I'm getting to see my grandson. He's an All-American high school basketball player, scored 1,000 points, and I'm just loving it. Why? I get to do it again, and I'm in the game. A couple of games ago, a little while ago, I'm in the fans, a couple of white guys, we sitting there talking, okay? And they going on. They was losing about 9 points, about 2 minutes to go in the game. My grandson put on some Michael Jordan type stuff, stealing, scoring 3-pointers, getting fouled, going to free throw. Next thing you know, there's 3 seconds to go in the game. We down by 2. He goes to the free throw line. We down by 1. He goes to the free throw line, make them both. We up by 1. Everybody going crazy. Everybody they just lose it. And me and the guy that talking, he said, "Man, that's how that kid's out of the." I said, "Yeah, that's my grandson." He said, "Oh, your grandson." I used to do that with my son. So it was deja vu like a motherfucker. All right, but again, this is the life that you live. If you put yourself in a position, you should receive the benefits that's due you. That's karma on the good side. When you put the good work in, good results come out. I'm seeing another generation of good work being coming out. So now I'm riding the pop bandwagon while my grandsons are doing good work, and I'm a big fan. Okay, yeah. You judge the tree by the fruit it bears. Fathead with my fruit, Monica's my other fruit. They doing fine, but I got offspring fruit that's doing good. So yeah, I got 2 generations of good fruit. That's my point. Wrapping it up again, I appreciate you children and just having some fun. This is for my dude. But just like God said of his son, according to the Christians, "That's my son in whom I'm well pleased." Wherever I go, I say that's my son. I'm well pleased. Okay. I am and always will be proud of my son. Now I got grandsons to extend that to. I'm even prouder of them. How about that? My 3 grandsons. And I did my thing with one son. I raised my son. Yeah, I'm proud of that right there. Okay, the big 3 generations right there. But I'm even prouder Okay, this guy got 3 of them, and he's doing what I did twice. We got a god in Egypt called Hermes Trismegistus. Thrice great. That means he's great on every level. He done show greatness from the beginning to the end. He got 3 of them, and they all got the same thing. So he's doing something right. That's the point. And lightning, they say lightning don't strike twice in the same place. Hell, only God hits what? 3 times. Y'all know the 3 distinct knocks? Okay, he got them. Okay, moving on. It's a concept and a philosophical principle that you got to understand. If you're a God follower or if you're a Mason, you know the 3 distinct knocks. Okay, that's when God knocked, that's how he knocked. When karma come calling, you know who that is. Guess what? The Grim Reaper also. I didn't wrap this up. Where we at? All right, but when your creation that you create is greater than the creator, that's godly. Why? He's doing greater works. I love that. I love how to get that one in. Well, I'm proud of my son doing better than me. Why? I ain't in a competition. I ain't jealous. I ain't envious of his good deeds. I'm proud of that. I'm loving that. Moving on. Fathead is my greatest creation. And yes, that's what? He's better than me. Trust me. I can say that. He will never say that. Why? That's how he is. I would never say I'm better than my dad. No matter how good I would give him top billing. So I understand that. That's called respect for the creator. Who? God. To me, my father was God. To my son, obviously, I'm God. And you don't out God. You just be like him. Moving on. And again, he won't say that. I will. Hope you enjoyed the lesson, Fathead. Happy birthday. I'll be back. Right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I never know the right thinkers who now understand my creation is better than me passed away. You should all create things to make it better than the creator.